live. Well, we'll see if we're live yet, but gotta do a sound test. Hello, hello. Alright, perfect. Wait, the sound test is done. Alright, let's continue with the main plot, shall we? Alright, first claim all of these random rewards. And now let's move on to stage 16. The plague has been eradicated, but you still have some worries. My dear friend, the rum is driving under your reign, but you look terribly disheartened. What's wrong? Nothing. I feel like Carey hates the way I rule the kingdom. Carey is a vengeful bastard, and he's still holding a grudge because you chose to spare Diana's life. Your Highness, I have an idea. Let's go inspect Carey's territory. Great idea. Let's go. Alright, off we go the knights to explore. Like off screen, I showed up my armies in order to have enough troops to advance the plot. And this is how they explore territory, murdering all of the red coats. No, already, like, my brother asked me if they asked me, like, what's my favorite color, and if I pick blue. It should allow you to, like, customize the color of your armies. Like, if I had a thing that I would have my soldiers be pink. Just because. Pink is not even a question. Pinky was love at first sight. Pink when I turn off the light. Alright. Minimal casualties. Alright, let's see the next story beat, maybe. Or just more battles. Maybe I hit like ski. Oh well. Like I scream, the only thing you miss is that I added more chunks to my ever-expanding harem in order to produce good successors for like political marriages and whatnot. Cause that's how it worked during like medieval times and whatnot. It was all arranged marriages between equal-ranked individuals. And there was very little social mobility and whatnot. But of course, as with everything, there were exceptions to the rules, like around the Renaissance period, the merchant class started to rise. So then, since the nobility, since the nobility was starting to become dirt poor, then they had no other choice but to marry like into the merchant class, into with the merchants, because the alternative was to live in the poorhouse. You and your counselor secretly arrive in Carey's territory. Haha, this place looks like fun. I love it here. Talbot, you must learn to look beyond the surface of things. I'm just a simple guy. I'll never be as wise as you. I don't see any problems either. Help! Suddenly someone starts calling out for help. Oh, I go on my knife. Let's go rescue the little damsel in distress. When you arrive in Carey's land, you see a group of knights attacking a young lady. Whoever it is, they sound terrified. Help! What happened? Who's calling for help? Let's take a look. Fun. Oh yeah, what was it with the nonsense? Like, yeah. Oh yeah, like buying your way into nobility. Like the first, yeah, like a very good representation of like how the nobility was thinking and whatnot because of poor management of wealth is in an early depiction of that is in Lazarillo de Tormes, which is like a very old episodic book. You know, like each chapter is a little episode in the Lazarillo's life. And like a Lazarillo is basically like a seeing eye human, like a child that helps a blind person get around. And yeah, so then like one of his master was a nobleman that was in the poorhouse, and they don't really explain how he lost all of his money. They just show that like his fancy mansion is like completely emptied out. So then, in order to pretend to still be rich and fabulous, he only had 3 sets of dresses, but the way that he would arrange his outfit all the time, a la Lobnicki style, would give the illusion to other people that he had at least 30 different changes of wardrobe just by altering these accessories. So then something that the poor nobleman would like to do was that he would like go court the courtesans, and then and then he would offer to buy lunch for them, and then they would eat at a restaurant, and then he would eat everything, and then he would leave like the woman there to pay the bill because the guy was literally starving him. And I guess it was just too nightly to like go get a day job. But then again, getting day jobs in like medieval society was hard. Or anywhere really, like the job market is tough. You rush to the scene and see a few soldiers dragging a young woman on the ground. What are you doing? Do you know who we are, you idiot? I don't care who you are, not tonight would ever treat a woman like this. Stop sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, boys, get them. Alright, my boys, get them. But yeah, and so then like a funny incident in the story of Lazarillo de Tormes when he was with the poor noble guy was that so then so then the Lazarillo he would beg, and then he would be the one who ends up getting the food for both of them because the nobleman was too proud in order to beg people, because since like the people in the town knew him, he felt too much ashamed for people to not be aware of his poverty. So it was like a new condition for that formerly rich guy. So then one day there was like a funeral procession happening, and then like And then like a woman, a woman was saying that, oh, now you should go reside in the house that is dark where no one is. So then the Lazarillo de Tormes, what he thought was that they were going to put the dead guy in their house because their house is dark, because they don't even have money to like buy candles. And they don't need in the house because he's the one who's constantly getting the food for everyone. But yeah, so then that's the thing. So like I mentioned, the Lazarillo at least the noble guy, even though like the noble guy was like nice and whatever and didn't beat him, he didn't feel it annoyed him that he had to feed had to feed the adult when he was the child in the situation, just because the adult was too proud to beg. The knights turn out to be completely worthless in a battle, and you defeat them in a few moments. Remember, you'll pay for this. Let's go, guys. Who are these losers? What do you think? They're definitely in cahoots with Carey. Don't make assumptions. We should ask around first. And by ask around, just hit everything. Oh yeah. I totally forgot to mention in Miosi. Like, I'll tell you another little nice story that I know. But in between the little battles. Now that the nights are gone, you notice that the girl you save is still standing by. Thank you. He whispers. No, wipes his forehead. You're welcome, young lady. Rescuing beauties is my duty. But you should leave as quickly as you can. Why? Oh, there comes the guard. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So another nice story that I know that you may not be familiar with, like the oldest surviving night romance in the like there used to be some wandering singers, juglares, that they would go travel from hold to hold and feudal telling the nightly stories. But most of the stories they weren't like recorded because they were oral traditions and whatnot, and each little traveling troupe had its own repertoire of like little night stories. But one that didn't make it that survived to modern times, that was recorded by a monk, is the cantar, or the song of El Mio Cid. The interesting about Emil Cid, well, he was in Spain, and at the time, the Moors were trying to conquer Spain, and then the Spain eventually managed to like repel the invaders and whatever. But during that turbulent time where the Moors were in Spain and whatnot, the Mio Cid lived. So his real name is, and he's also like a historical person, Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar. And he eventually he starts his story as like any other night. He gets married and all that, but then he gets in a stupid fight with his father-in-law, and then in the duel he ends up murdering the guy. So then obviously so then as the guy's dying, he tells the wife of Emil Cid, if you were a man, you would avenge me. So then his newly married wife obviously hates Emil Cid's guts because he murdered her father in a duel. So that's one terrible way to like start the marriage and whatever. But it couldn't be helped. Like the guy it was kill or be killed situation. So then El Mio Cid eventually gets into some other troubles with one of the feudalers. So then he becomes a knight that's not attached to any hold. So then he has to like reforge his empire from scratch. So his story is kind of similar to a little similar to King's story if you think about it. So then eventually, like his things gets moved over with the wife because the wife wasn't like the father of the father of his wife was like. I said, well, you know how terrible, like, guys were awful to women for the most part, and eventually things moved over and whatnot. Because Miocid, he continues being nice to his wife and all that. And he doesn't force her to mate, even though that was the medieval way of doing things. So then, while we're forging his empire, and Miociro Rodrigo, he forms an allegiance with the Moors, and then he fights alongside of them against their mutual enemies. Because even though they were of different religions, they had a common enemy. They had a common enemy. So then the Moors, they gave the Miocid the nickname, which meant in their language, my lord. There you have it. So then that's how he gets his name. So then he had like allies from different religions and whatnot, which was very unusual during like those medieval times and whatnot, for there to be like a city and a hold, like a little feud, because over there, since like everything was so fragmented, the biggest type of, you didn't have like countries, you had principalities or feudos, which was just one city and that's it, and maybe the surrounding farmlands. Alright, back to this plan. The girl shows up and her eyes show despair. Those guys are all of Carey's cronies. I knew it was him, I knew it all along. Lord Carey will never forgive you for beating them up. So what? I'll never forgive him either. Young lady, tell us why they wanted to capture you. Let's do that boss fight. Like next time we get into another long battle sequence, I'll tell you how Mioci's final battle went. The beauty washed away her tears. They say I'm a witch and wanted to put me on trial. Oh, this stack of witchcraft, and why won't Carey just let it go? They captured so many girls and not a single one ever came back alive. We're all terrified of them. So yeah, so then eventually Miocid is able to grow his empire a lot, but in one of the fights he gets mortally wounded, and then their troops and everyone in their city, they're like completely surrounded. So then, since he's like injured and whatnot, his soldiers are losing morale and they want to surrender. So then his wife had the brilliant idea of dressing up her dead husband. He eventually croaks, of dressing up her dead husband in the armor and strapping it to his horse. And then so that the knights wouldn't know that their king is dead, so then they will fight harder. So then like a corpse literally rode out to fight the enemy, and the knights went on the wiser. And then that's how they won the battle, because the queen tricked the soldiers into thinking that their king was still alive. And his corpse eventually was even mummified for a while because he got deified and stuff. So who knows how many times they used the corpse of the dead king in battle in order to give strength to the troops. Because that crazy rules worked. But in desperate times, you do crazy things. Like, it's basically like you've seen a lot in like for example Berserk, that you see the king that's like riding, like dressed up in skulls, and he's like a dead king but he's still doing his stuff. Or like the Dead Knight. He's basically a MOC, you know, a knight who's literally dead, but he's still marching into battle, and his opponents totally swear that the corpse is moving. But, and alive and was still winning the battles even after death. But you know, maybe it was moving because of magic, or maybe it was the fear in their eyes that was messing with them. Either way, it's just a fun, crazy story I wanted to tell you from like the medieval nice time. Alright, do we know another one off the top of my head? Oh yeah, but well, the next one on the list that I can think of on short notice is Beowulf. Oh wait, we're back to this plot. Don't be afraid, we'll protect you. Young lady, you know where they take the captured girls? To a small workshop in the east, and they say it's a place where filthy witches are cleansed. We should go there and take a look. Oh yeah, like I first read Beowulf in like maybe if you're like in the like studying American, you're more familiar with Beowulf because that is like a mandatory, like aside from like the Scarlet Letter and some other books here and there by Nathaniel Hawthorne that are very boring. Like Beowulf is like a mandatory reading in high school. Well, at least when I was around, I don't know what they force you to read in high school these days. So it's basically, you know, just your medieval knight. He goes to an area who's like a famous fighter, and then and then he goes to this town, and they say they'll make him their king if he defeats this monster named Grando. So then he goes and does the boss fight and defeats him. And I like that story because it's like very descriptive with the battles. I like when my old stories like really dig into the gore aspect and you can visualize it well. Yeah, like he killed Grandma, but he forgot to like go kill the. Well, no. First, they told him that just to kill Grandma, but then after he kills Grandma, they be like, oh, guess what? That thing had a mother. You should like go kill it as well. Yeah, but then Granda's mom ends up being hot. So then instead of killing the woman, he did what every medieval guy used to do whenever he saw a hot woman. It's like time, and then they be like time to spawn demon baby. So then Beowulf ends up he ends up producing the he ends up producing like a big dragon. When she sees you're about to leave, the girl seizes your sleeve. Don't go. When Loncari finds out, he'll kill you. Don't worry, young lady, he wouldn't dare. This should be a short match. I have a lot of like silly nights and whatever. When you arrive at Carey's workshop, you notice that the gate is heavily guarded. Should we just burst in? There's so many of them that will be the death of us. Exactly, and even if we don't manage to burst in, we don't have any proof that this place is tied to Carey. Alright, for wrestling is bad. Oh yeah. So then what? So then years pass and the Beowulf is king, and he's just waiting and preparing for like the future boss battle because the previous king, instead of Grando, was the demon child of the previous king. Like if you notice, the story of Beowulf has a lot of elements that appear in Dragon Dogma, because in Dragon Dogma, the king, the future king, instead of defeating the dragon Grigori, he just takes the Shinigami Eye and he chooses the easiest path, which is to just to just sleep with a woman, well, to just relegate the problem elsewhere to doing like a weird ritual sacrifice, in order not to fight the monsters. While in Beowulf's case, he just simply chose to sleep with the demon and then deal with whatever demon child was spawned from the union, because he figured, well, Grendel was able to handle, so whatever demon child that the woman produces is gonna be something I'll be able to defeat in a boss fight. So then, but what he wasn't expecting was that what Beowulf wasn't expecting, that his union with the weird woman in the woods was gonna produce a dragon of all things. So then in Beowulf, time for a dragon boss fight. Like, I also saw the Beowulf movie, and like I don't know who started the whole thing with like the dragons, the little hip that if you like stab the dragon in the heart, it instantly dies, and the area where you can actually shoot at the dragon is like the weakest part of the armor. But biologically speaking, even among lizards, the heart is one of the most well protected parts of the body. I mean, just look at the human. You got like the rib cage, all designed to protect your heart from like harm and whatnot. Like a huge barrier of bones. And if dragons be related to like the common lizard or maybe the dinosaurs, then you would assume that they wouldn't be able to, that piercing the dragon's heart would be easier said than done. The long and short of it is that they gotta stop doing the whole thing that you hit dragon in weak point and he drops dead. That's not fun. Do a serious dragon boss fight. Oh cool, I leveled up as a rising lord. And we still got plenty of troops to move the plot along. So then that's what happened to Beowulf, that he ends up losing against the dragon, but his successor is able to deal with the dragon and become the new king. But I don't like. But in the book, they just leave it at that. The evil dragon is vanquished at the end. But like in the movie of Beowulf, which was like a creepy, uncanny valley CGI movie. Like, you remember, like in the mid 2000s when they started doing like those weird movies where everyone looked like, where they tried to like get close to life as possible, and then they did that the Polar Express. Maybe you've seen that creepy Christmas movie where all of the children look scary. But in like the Beowulf movie. All right, well, I'll tell you the Beowulf movie ending in case after this. You disguise yourself. We cannot pretend we're Carey's cronies. Good for you, but why did I have to dress up like a woman? Cause it's funny? Haha, I think you look pretty. Cause we're doing a Mulan. That's where you have to dress up like a woman. And we need a witch and you look like a witch. I agree. Alright, I'll do it for you, your highness. You're a true gentleman, Kerwin. So yeah, like in the ending of the movie Beowulf, the guy who succeeded Beowulf, he ends up hooking up with the demon chick, just because she's hot, and their union is gonna produce the next problem. And then I'd be thinking, dude, just keep it in your you don't have to sleep with the demon chick just because she's hot. Like, control yourself, you lunatic. It's like seriously, but whatever. Your Highness, do you like our game? Awesome. Okay. Oh man, we'll deal with that later. I don't know where the banquet unlocked. Your organized banquets or take part in other large banquets to earn banquet points, which can be exchanged for great rewards. Alright, so cause a lot of those little things are locked behind, like you gotta move the plot. Your Highness, the banquet hall is ready. Great, and it's time to send our invitation, and the banquet will blow their minds. Holding and attending banquets will earn you banquet points, which can be exchanged for rewards in the store banquet. Start here to hold a banquet. Use different kinds of materials to hold 3 different kinds of banquet. And large banquets will earn you more banquet points. Oh, let's just work with what I have. Your Highness, you have successfully organized a banquet. When it ends, you'll receive a banquet ware. Alright. And I guess we just now wait for I guess I just invite whoever, and off we go. Alright, let's just go back to the main plot and or just okay, let me just get this reward for moving the plot along, and then we'll see what's the next thing. So they gave me a new arena unlock. Dispatch your knights on the arena and exchange points in glorious battle against the lords, and claim victory to earn points and rewards. Have you seen my beautiful daughters, and do you like them? Okay.
Anything in the world can serve as a bargaining chip.
Oh wow, you sound crazy. Alright, so we got a new knight to work with. Head to championship. Let's see. Okay, so we unlocked a new store. Let's upgrade the new one. And we're done with that nonsense. And now we're back to the main plot. So yeah, that's the ending of Beowulf. It's a story about a guy that just couldn't keep it, that all of his problems would have been solved if he would have just engaged in a little bit of self-control. You and Talbot and Kevin dress up as a woman and arrive to the workshop gate, but the guards stop you immediately. Who are you? How come I haven't seen you before? Hey buddy, we're new here. Look, we caught a witch. Ah! She looks gorgeous. Throw her in, and I'll walk with her later. Alright, so we managed to sneak inside a la Mulan style. Yeah, like the Disney Mulan version. Like that's a legit Mulan, like I haven't read the real Mulan poem, but I do remember studying over the top when I was like learning history, like in college. Like they mentioned that a little bit over the top. That is like one of the, it's like one of the oldest wars stories. You know, like they have like the Iliad, that's a story about like ancient fighters and whatnot. And Mulan is one of the oldest ones where the main character is a woman fighter. So that's fun. So yeah, but let's go back to like medieval European history. I guess all that's left is to talk about is King Arthur and stuff, but I think everyone is like familiar with him. Like, oh my god, like King Arthur is one of the stories that has been done to that. And he has like a bunch of other knights and whatever. I frankly find more hilarious Sir Lancelot, but whatever. Like in the Monty Python movie, they turn him into like a murderous lunatic. And that's what I think most of medieval knights were like back in the day. I mean, it's murderous lunatics. And then there were poems and stories about them. But then again, that was like the only entertainment. Oh yeah, the other night that I haven't mentioned that. Nah, because talking about King Arthur is like so played out. I'm gonna talk about other nights. Like I could even talk about all of the terrible movies that they've done about King Arthur and like ranking them based on which one's better and which one's worse. You successfully infiltrate the workshop. What a creep, and he wants to talk to me, huh? And if he gets anywhere near me, I'll break both his legs. Gorgeous young lady, how can you be so cruel? Haha. Suddenly a horrifying scream reaches through the room and the smell of blood fills the air. Help, help, I'm not a witch. How can they do this to all these poor girls? You are leaving, but suddenly somebody walks in. Alright, time to go murder the Spanish Inquisition. But cause like of all of the like there was a lot of witch hunting inquisitions, but like the worst of them was the Spanish Inquisition. Like they had in like at their figurehead like the worst inquisitor of them all was Torquemada. That wasn't like his official like, and he was famous for like burning and torturing like more than 1,000 poor women. Like him personally, like he didn't relegate his horrible work, and like the sixth sadistic bastard was even made a saint, which is something that I have an issue with a lot of the old with a lot of the saints from like medieval times. Like some of them, like at least the ones that became famous for like hurting people, that I don't feel that those would be saints and should be considered saints by modern standards. But then again, he was like a man of his time, so you know, if you grow, you know, like Emil Cid, a Catholic knight who had religious tolerance, and he accepted both Muslims and Jewish allies. Those types of knights who weren't like murdery religious that were not intolerant, they were the exception, not the norm. Because most knights were back then were, you know, like murdery stuff. But then again, they learned it from like the Romans. I mean, like the Romans back in the day, like a lot of us forget that like Catholicism and a bunch of other religions, they were like persecuted by like the Romans and like burned to the stake in lions. And you know how it goes, like a bully picks like you learn like you pick stuff you either be like the one who was bullied eventually becomes the bully, at least like back in the old days and one. But that's not important. I'm gonna get out of like the whole Inquisition nonsense. When you see that Carey is with his car, you quickly hide. Jax, you are a genius, and I never thought that hunting witches would turn out to be such a lucrative business. Lord Carey, I don't deserve all of this fraternity, and these girls are worth a fortune, and the next time we dispose of one, you should grab a handful of gold. You'll see. You deserve it. I guess they're giving sadistic chums the option of torturing poor women to death, calling them witches and then making money out of it. Ugh, that's nuts. No, no can do. The money belongs to our master and the organization. The Illuminati? Everyone had like secret crazy societies. Scrap, and that's enough for me. That's a lot of red flag going on there. So that's what this is all about, money. Well, the Inquisition had like when they would label somebody a witch, they could take all of the money of the family members and whatnot. So most of the people, a good portion of the people that were labeled witches, they were like rich noble people that the churches wanted to rob. Their master organization, what are they talking about? Who is it? Alright, time for a boss fight. Like hopefully I have enough stuff to like clear this one, to clear this. Like I tend to have all of my knives have like an even amount of pecks and whatnot. Oh man, like Robin Hood is like the last night I got, so this was so that is scraping the bottom, ¿no? Jackass notices you, and Tabon instantly draws his sword. It's me, you wretches. Tabo, what are you doing here? Carey, we know what you're up to and confess your crimes. Your Highness. Well, it wasn't illegal to do like wishes to like do wish inquisitions because like I have permission from the Vatican or whatever. But like Catholicism was crazy during the medieval times. Very bloodthirsty. So yeah. So yeah, like there is I'm writing I was writing like a vampire book, and but then I was doing for research for it, and then I ended up reading a bunch of stuff about the Spanish Inquisition, cause they didn't just hunt those are the labeled witches. They also hunted people that were guilty of blasphemy, whatever that means, and like. But just think about it. If you blaspheme against God, then any person can say anything about you, and then they just torture you until you say what they want. You know, like if you're getting pressed to this, of course you're gonna like say whatever to make the pain go away. Cause that's what, like, cause that's why I'm always very iffy with regards to like torture in general. Cause like you hurt someone enough and they say what you want, whether it is true or not. The point is, you need like mind reading telepathy, get some aliens or something to help you with that nonsense. But now I'm officially talking crazy. Alright, let's go back to like medieval reality for a second. So yeah. And they also like other people that were also targeted by the Inquisition were people that they claimed that like ¿qué está ahí? Oh, like something weird happened in the real world. I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. When Carey realizes it's you, he grows more timid. ¿Qué pasó? Oh, right. Now I know what it was. Oh god, crazy in the real world that distracted me. Alright, Lord Carey, there's no need to panic. And there are just three of them, and let's finish them off right now. You're right, guards, get them. Listen up, I am the lord of this realm, and if you capture Carey, a handsome reward will be yours. So yeah, like among the other people that they persecuted were people that were suspected of, of being a guy who liked another guy and being a girl who liked another girl. But as with everything, it was all based on hearsays, and it's not as if you had like the camera technology. You could just get randomly accused of something that you were not simply because of the crime of being rich but not having good connections. And then they would just torture you until you admit what they wanted to say. Like remember in the cruise, I think it was the Crucible, the one where John Preston and like the witches and Proctor, and like the reason like the Salem witch trials. Like that guy that was pressed to death, the reason why he didn't admit to why he endured the torture was because he knew that if he told them what they wanted to hear, they would the government would have the right to take from his family all of their properties and whatnot. And then it was just a witch trial that wasn't motivated by religion but merely money, because they wanted to have an excuse to confiscate the property of well-to-do folk. Oh, and while I was doing like crazy research, I ran into something like everyone's familiar with the Salem witch trial, but they're not familiar with the lawsuit that came as a result of the Salem witch trial, because all of the people that were affected by it, they sued the government and they actually won. And then they were forced to pay. The government was forced to pay reparations to the family whose wives and daughters were accused of being witches. Stricken by your majestic demeanor, everyone stands on your side. Do it for the Lord. Lord Carey, we better retreat. But if they catch us, our master will be furious. Let's run. Let's see if I have enough resources to make it past this boss battle. And not I guess well, I did get a new knight. I could just beef him up if the fight doesn't go well. I think that I had enough to finish the battle. The plot can continue. Alright, so yeah. Under your command, everyone defeats Carey's cronies in an instant. The rescue girls cheerfully celebrate. Long live our Lord, long live our Lord. Darn it, Carey and his guard took advantage of the pandemonium and ran off. Catch them. So yeah, I was talking about the Salem witch trials, which is a different sort of injustice that wasn't perpetrated by the Catholics, but by I forgot, like the Pilgrims, wasn't it? Whatever. I'm more familiar with the lawsuit that was done as a result of that, because I just ran, it's crazy while you're doing research for one thing, you end up running into different information that is equally amusing and whatnot. So yeah, like it was said, one of the letters or one of the petitioners writing to the government, they'd be like my wife was burned as a witch, and my 5-year-old daughter was also in prison with the mother that was eventually publicly executed, and the little girl hasn't been well since when. So you tell me how much money you're gonna give me in order to make up for all of the things that my family and my daughter suffer. So yeah, the thing is really screwed up families, and they ruin lives and whatnot. Just baseless accusations and whatnot. No, and also whether they were witch or not is irrelevant. I mean, it's ironic because the Pilgrims went to the U.S. to the colonies in search of religious freedom, and yet they did the whole witch trial thing, because they should have shown tolerance to witches, because they were a different religion doesn't mean that they deserve to get burned and whatnot. The left goes for intolerance, but then they're intolerant themselves. Whatever, moving along. Medieval times be crazy. Carey is quickly cornered. Give it up, Carey. If you surrender, we might be willing to spare you. Forget it, you bastards. A cavalry suddenly appears. Carey, we're saved. A Carey through suddenly appears. Well, that's enough about the Salem witch trials. Alright, another night. Oh, let's do Cuculan. That one I'm certain that is one that you have. That one I'm certain that is a type of night that you're not familiar with. Like Cuculan, he started his life as just your regular boy and whatnot. Was happened to just be born very strong, and his first a la Hercules, but and his first heroic adventure, while Hercules killed a snake, two snakes as a show of strength. Cuculan got into when Cuculan was young, he got into a stupid fight with a dog. Cause like his family was at a party and whatnot, and then like the little kid wandered off, and then the guard dog of the feudal, he attacked the little boy, and then the boy, in order to defend himself, he was first to murder the dog that attacked him. What Cuculan did, he after he defeated the dog, he told the owner of the house that he was very sorry about it and it was in self-defense, and that until a new guard dog was trained, he was gonna be that guy's guard dog, and that's how he acquired his name Cuculan, which means the dog of Kulan. Terrible nickname if you think about it, but whatever. Now you know. So then, like, he had his standard heroic adventures and whatever, and he had a berserk. Oh wait, they snatched, carry, and escape. Danny, we were so close to catching them. I'd like to know who sent the troops, and there has to be some people else. A puppet master in control of Carey and all of his minions. What should we do now? Let's just see what happens next, but first we must find a place for all of these girls we just rescued. So yeah, like Coconut, he had he had a unique berserker form. Like when he got into like his battle stance, his body would like weirdly morph and grow like more muscular. Like think something a la think something more a la DBC style, you know. But except that he would like turn red and grow bigger and whatnot. And they would describe that form change as wasping. Like that's how there was. Oh yeah, but like the main antagonist of Kukulam was a very powerful witch that was also kind of related to him, Morgan Le Fay style. Oh good. Do I have enough knights to finish this boss battle, or do I need to train them? Oh thank God, I had enough. We can make it past the story beat. The Witch Hammer. Oh, that's actually also the name of one of those medieval books about how to deal with witches and whatnot. So we reached like the Inquisition part of the medieval time stories. You release the girls from captivity. It appears Carey accused women of witchcraft and then hunts them down. What organization was he talking about? We're not sure yet, Your Highness, but we found this book in the workshop. It might contain some clues. Talbot hands you a book titled The Witch Hammer. You open the book, and that is just so cruel. Alright, let's go find the book. But yeah, that was just that was just dark. Oh yeah, so yeah, Kukulam. Like he also had like his final battle and whatnot, and eventually, like most epic heroes, he didn't die of old age. He died while in battle and whatnot, fighting for truth and justice and whatever. Like I think it's like rare to find like a book or like a nice story where the knight dies peacefully of old age. Like most of the time, like being a knight just means that you're gonna die young, as far as medieval society time is concerned. And it's more true for like epic knight stories and whatnot. I mean, like King Arthur, he got murdered by. Like he died by getting murdered by like I think it was his son Mordred, right? Which he had with like his half sister, but he didn't know it was his half sister. It's crazy stuff that only happened in medieval times. Yeah, and like, like I don't know. I can think of at the top of my head of any night that like survived that made it that survived till old age. You know that like a peaceful death, and then he passed on the baton to someone else. But then again, most of these nice tales were just stories that were told by traveling performers at bars. And of course, you're not gonna end the story. Oh, and the knight died peacefully in his bed. No, no, that's not like an epic finale. No, no, no. It's gotta be like an epic ending. If his story's gonna end, it's gotta like end in like a bloody stuff. All right. Witch Hammer contains vivid description of witchcraft and brutal punishment, and it makes you sick. This is absurd and horrifying at the same time. Your Highness, what shall we do? I just destroyed the book. This book is filled with evil, and we must destroy it. You're absolutely right. If the book survives, more women will suffer. Also, regarding the ongoing investigation into the mysterious organization, I always feel there is more to it than meets the eye. But then again, like book burning was like very common in like medieval times and whatnot. Whenever you found something unpleasant to the eye, but you decide to destroy the witch hammer, but merely doing it isn't enough. You ponder things for a moment. In addition, we must declare to the world that all this witch talk is pure superstitious hokum. Yes, we must reassure the public that there's nothing to fear from those girls. Additionally, I want to continue investigating the mysterious organization behind all of this. The use of such sword retorted to persecute innocent people in a large scale, and it can be that simple. Sighing deeply, I hope we are just being overly cautious. Well, there's no such thing as being overly cautious. It's better, well, more about the school of better safe than sorry. But yeah, what was I going on about? Oh yeah, about that I couldn't think of any nice stories where like the night dies peacefully in bed. Well, there's actually only one, Don Quixote de la Mancha, which is a nice story, but actually the first genre parody. You know how like the movie Scream was like a parody of like all of the horror movies that ever came and ever will be. Well, Don Quixote de la Mancha was a parody of all of the night books that had come before, just poking fun out all of the night troops and whatnot. And it's about a 40-year-old guy. Like people talk about Don Quixote as if he was like uber old, but canonically in the book he was 40 years old. But in medieval society, being 40 years old, that meant that you were ancient, because you gotta remember that in during those times it was very rare for like European people to make it to the age of 50. Not so much in like the Asian countries or whatnot, where like Confucius, he lived to the ripe old age of 100. The point is that in Europe, since they didn't invade that much during the time, yeah, you tended to, and also the Black Plague also helped. Yeah, people tended to drop dead like uber quickly. Anyhow, I'm divagating. Don Quixote de la Mancha, he was like a rich farmer with like too much stuff to do. Okay, now that the witchcraft incident has been resolved, you regain the support of your people. Your Highness, it's time to leave this place. Let's go. Alright, I guess it's like a boss fight. So yeah, eh, like Don Quixote, he was like a farmer and saying, well, we're moderately well off. And so then he started using his farm money in order to buy night books and whatnot. And then he just liked to read them. That was his main hobby in his retirement. He liked to read stories about knights. And then he would discuss with his friend the barber and the priest about all of the night stories. You know, like how in modern times you talk about like your favorite superhero and whatnot, and whether this one was stronger or that stronger. In the Renaissance period, you talked about knights like the same way you talked about Batman or Superman. And then and then they will discuss the other knights like Amadis de Gaula, and then they'd be like, well, Amadis, he was drunk, but he was also a crybaby. It's like he would spend most of the time in his play crying and whatnot. So, like Don Quixote is not only good for like reading and like poking fun at knights. It also tells you about a bunch of other ones that you may not know of, whose stories didn't survive to modern times. You know that they exist because Don Quixote makes fun of them. And meanwhile, a bit further away, Lord Carey, let's get away from here. No chance, and we can't let that moron defeat us. And what are your plans? Our master doesn't want you to stay here. Tell him I'll do my best to get rid of that idiotic lord, and just wait and see. Well, the wait and see attitude has gotten us this far. Alright. When you return to your castle, everyone welcomes you with open arms. Welcome back, Your Highness. Is everything alright, Lance? Of course, but there's a part of government affairs that you must urgently take care of. I'm afraid they must wait a little longer, and I really need some food and rest before I return to work. I'll tell the servants to prepare everything, Your Highness. Oh, Lance, no one understands me better than you. Oh, Lance! Alright, that was just a terrible joke. Okay, so yeah, Don Quixote de la Mancha. So then since he got into knives, one day he just be like, well, I read a lot about knives. So what if I dress up like a knight and go live like a knight? By the Renaissance period, the whole knightry had gone the way of the dodo. So like they were just things related to the past because like guns have been invented. So as soon as the gun came about, like it made armors completely obsolete, and like with centralized governments and whatnot, the knighthood wasn't, and the wandering knight was no longer necessary, or it was seen as archaic because now the government, they had their own standardized armies and mercenaries and whatnot. And so, like when countries became countries, the whole concept of knighthood was thrown out the window. But Don Quixote was enamored with the idea of playing a knight. So if you think about it, Don Quixote not only does he parody knights, he's also like the earliest depiction of a cosplayer. Cause he'd be like, well, knights are not a thing, but I'm gonna be a knight, and I'm going to dress up like a knight, and I'm gonna get my horse and be like a knight, even though and like I haven't trained at all for this. but I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna find other people to have fun with me in playing knight and whatnot. Because like in the Spanish book, you start realizing that it's not that Don Quixote is like insane about being like a knight. It's more like he's aware of just how much of a fool he looks, but he doesn't care because he's having so much fun. And so much, and he revels in the fact that he's like, by committing to his deed, he's getting everyone else around him to play along with him. So he's getting what he wants by, I'm gonna look like it, and I'm going to convince all of these idiots to like treat me like a knight, even though the knights are gone out of style centuries ago. So then the first thing he does is that he gets himself a fancy armor. You can't be a knight without an armor. So then it's interesting to know that he actually had knight armors in his house. So he did have ancestors. He did have ancestors that were knights. So that's why he had like the armor and all of the stuff related to knights and like the sword and everything. But they were just relics from like a bygone era that were rotting away in his house. So yeah, first things first, he gets himself the armor. The second thing he needs is a horse, and not just get a horse, but he also had to name the horse. Like they spent like 8 freaking paragraphs just Don Quixote overthinking the name for his horse. And it's interesting, he chose a horse that was just as old as he was. And he called the horse Rocinante, which means in Spanish, he used to be a horse. Because as the horse is old, it's no longer Rosine ante. Rosine horse, ante before horse. That would be what the name of the horse means in English. He used to be a horse. Yeah. Rocinante, he means he used to be a horse. I don't know what it is yet. It's like zombie horse now. It's not fit. So the horse is uber. So like, if you wanna like do a Don Quixote thing, you need like an uber skinny horse. Just find like the oldest horse there ever was, and then just wear an armor. After taking a good rest, you're ready to get back to work. Your Highness, it seems that Diana wishes to discuss some matters with you. What is it? I'm not sure she sent you a letter. You notice Diana's handwriting on the envelope. What could it be? After reading the letter from Diana, you're left in complete shock. Oh! Okay. Let's see if I have like enough resources to make it past this guy. Otherwise, I'm gonna be forced to go like train the knights and whatnot. But I tend to do all of the training and grinding and like gathering the resources for the plot off screen, because like that's the boring stuff, Fight Galileo. It's just funny to like see, like at least I found out that Dante Alighieri was like a actual war hero and whatnot. That he actually fought in the war in like he actually murdered people. That's why he can talk about hell and whatnot, because he's seen death in the eye. And, like, not being able to hear, but like I seen the Green Reaper and whatnot, And folks, good. So I did have enough. Do I have enough knives to? Oh, thank God, I have enough knives to finish the boss battle, so we can move on to the next chapter. The adoption. In which book did he do that?
Book 2, when he fought the lion, he told Sancho Panza to tell all.
Oh yeah, to tell everyone. Oh yeah. I'll tell. Yeah. You arrange a date with Beth, but instead you find a mysterious note with a shocking message. You open the envelope and read the note inside. Your Highness, Lady Diana is currently enjoying a love in my abode, and if you want her to return home safely, you must meet me in the village. But remember, you must come alone. Sincerely yours, Carey. Like Diana, you met her in like the last stream ago. She was the plague doctor that saved everyone. So they stole my good doctor. So yeah. Don Quixote the Knight. So then after he gets himself the horse and the armor, he's like ready to head out. So then like his sister-in-law and like the other servants, they be like, what the hell are you doing? And then like he just goes off out of his farm in order to start his night journey. Like usually like the movies, they immediately pair him up with Sancho Panza, but he doesn't get Sancho Panza right away. Oh my god, like the vacuum. Alright, that was like annoying. Alright, so where was, I'm like almost out of like nice and one. Alright, I lost concentration for a second because like somebody started loudly vacuuming while I'm in the middle of a live stream. And totally ruined my concentration. Oh yeah. So then Don Quixote, he goes out on his first night errand and he stops at an inn. You know how like all night stories usually start, like tell me how many night stories start. A knight walks into a bar and then he asks the tavern keeper like find me adventures and whatnot. But since he was hyping it up, he instead of an inn, he chose to perceive it as a castle. So then like the innkeeper tells him like pay for the room, and then he be like, no, knights don't pay for the room, they just stay there. And then the innkeeper be like the night books, they don't cover every little detail about the life of being a knight, just as the same way that a knight to obviously use the toilet, but obviously the writer's not gonna say, and then the knight went to the party, or then the knight took a bath, because it's a given based on the laws of common sense that a knight should, if he's traveling about and he's staying at an inn, of course he's gonna be paying for it, because otherwise he's gonna be like being a robber, and a knight would. And a good self-respecting knight would pay for the inn instead of trying to trick people into staying there for free. So then, like Don Quixote agrees with the guy, but he still managed to whistle his way into not paying for the inn. So then, like the innkeeper, so then he says that he's gonna stand vigil over the innkeeper's castle, quote unquote. And then that's how he's gonna be paying for the room and board, by offering it protection. And then he has the innkeeper knight him. And then that's how he officially becomes a knight. But because of the money situation, he decides that he needs to go back home and get money for his travels and whatnot. And then that's when when he goes back home, he acquires Sancho Panza, and then he pays him to be his squire. So then that's how he gets his sidekick. And Sancho Panza, he agrees to go along with it because Don Quixote promises that he's for him, and then he's gonna make him a lord. So then Sancho Panza, he's just like a regular dude, but he gets enamored with the crazy ambition of like, I'm gonna go from like being just a dumb farmer to being like, I'm gonna be the lord of a castle, and people are gonna be worshiping the ground I walk around. Well, like spoiler alerts, in book 2, Don Quixote does manages to make Sancho Panza the lord of a principality, and he manages to lord over them. Alright, we're back to this plot. Carey kidnapped Diana. That traitor, and how dare he threaten me like that? He must have done it out of spite, and he was the only one who opposed Diana's plan to cure the plague victims, remember? Diana made enormous contributions to our kingdom and we cannot allow Carey to hurt her. How do we proceed? Oh, the same way we always proceed. Your current power is dangerously low, and if you continue fighting, you may not be able to defeat the battle. We recommend you increase your power to I think I'll just I think this is as far as we can make it with the plot. I don't have enough resources to win the next fight. Well, let's check out the arena. The arena is where the Lord dispatched the knights to engage in battles. In your hand I was going to fight, dispatch me, and victory will be ours. I know you won't disappoint me, Tabor. Level 60 or higher knights are randomly deployed at the arena. Tap here to switch knights. Tap on a knight to dispatch them to the arena. Alright, let me see. Let me see where are my knights, or just dispatch it and tell to challenge. Sure, why not? Let's get a random buff and go with that. Alright, that one's simple enough. This arena seems going well. I guess I'll deal with this off screen now. Anything else? I guess I could go on patrol and see if anything funny happens. And nothing funny happened. Well, we'll stream this again, the main plot tomorrow. I hope you have fun watching. Bye bye and God bless.